What's up, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Down Once More. I'm your host, Matt, and this week we're kind of bringing it in a little bit. We're talking about some random things going on in my life, some vacation talk. We're going to talk some streaming things. I did my streaming preview for September on last week's episode. Been doing that monthly for a while now. For once, I actually have been watching a few new things, so I'm going to give a few recaps of those towards the end of the pod. A few musical news, update things, but first off, first time here, welcome. Lots of fun stuff on the pod feed, so hope you check it out, subscribe, follow, all that fun stuff, interact, comment, tell us what you want to see, reach out on Instagram, all the fun stuff. I love interacting with you guys. Gonna bring a listener friend of the pod on sometime in the next month or so as well to talk a few musical things. So stay tuned for that. As always, there are time codes in the description on YouTube and on podcast platforms, so you know where to skip ahead. I'm going to be talking a little bit about vacation, and there are going to be some videos interjected and interspersed throughout the episode on YouTube. So some plugs to go subscribe and watch this week's pod there. You might get a few bonus things out of it if you do so. So let's kick it off with that. At the end of August, I went on vacation for a week, visited pretty much the only real lake in Nebraska, out on the western side. People from Colorado coming down. It's the biggest lake here. It's however many miles. I could do research on it, but no one comes to this pod for lake facts or for any reason whatsoever at all. But my in-laws live out there. Usually we take the jet skis out. There's some beach. We chill, lay back, do some reading. We don't do drinking on the beach because that's illegal there. But chill, it's usually a good time. I like to go later in the summer. Water's a little warmer, especially kids back in school. Not as crowded, not as many people there on vacation. Go during the week. Enjoy, soak up the sun, maybe get a little sunburn. It's a good time. I haven't been able to go the past few years because of work, vacation, busy, hasn't worked out. So this is my first time going back in a while. Week before we went back, in the 90s, heat index of like 100. The week we were there, the high that it got up to was like 72, maybe 74. Cloudy, rainy most of the time. But I made it a point, because it's been years since I've been able to go out, I wanted to go out on the jet skis. So Tuesday, it was cloudy, it was rainy, it was windy, it was cold. I think it was like 66 degrees out, something like that at the most. And that wasn't the feels like temperature. That was probably a bit chillier. But go out, take the jet ski out, and there was no one else out on the lake. I was able to just floor that thing, have some fun. I hit 52, was the highest I got. If you're watching on YouTube, there will be a video inserted of me going around, driving through the lake. And I enjoy it. It is so nice to feel the wind go through your hair. It feels freeing. And there's not much like it. Just being out on the water and being both in control and not in control at the same time. It feels like there's something relaxing and peaceful about that. I was tempted to just go nuts with it and try to throw myself off, but it was cold. The water was freezing. Trying to get back on the jet ski just seemed like an awful, awful idea. And what I learned quickly the next day is that I am not used to cutting quickly and dealing with the power of going like 52 on a jet ski and making sharp cuts and turns, because my neck and back were killing me. And that is a sign, if you haven't been watching on YouTube and you're not giving away, I am not in shape. And so that was just an awful idea. But I had a blast, and later in the week, we got some sun. I got some really cool time lapses of sunset, kind of just trying to play around with my camera. I have all this camera equipment that I had great aspirations of doing fun things with and haven't done much with them. But I was glad that I was able to do that and put it to use. Got some really cool videos, really happy with it. Again, those will be on the YouTube. So go there, watching. That way you don't need to just look at my face. You can see some beautiful sunset and cloud movement, and just really cool to see being out there in nature. I live in the city. Yes, we obviously have clouds. You can see it, but seeing like an uninterrupted horizon is just really cool. And there's something about that. Now, I couldn't live out in the country where the nearest town is 30 miles away. You have to go that far for groceries, things like that. I am a city boy. I need the city amenities, the fun restaurants, being able to try new things, the comfy theaters, all that fun stuff that I'm spoiled with. I need that, but it's nice to get away every once in a while. And I'm on my own like schedule. I can never sleep in, so I'm up at like 4 or 5 a.m. there. So got some time to like myself in the morning, chill, unwind. It was a nice, relaxing vacation to kind of recoup from with work, life, other shit that's just been crazy. It's just nice to get away, get a break for a bit. And then you come back and things come crashing down. But on our way back, we decided to stop by the state fair and have some just truly Midwest fair food. There's nothing, I mean, if you were walking around this fair, you would know you were in the Midwest. I don't know. I'm assuming they have fairs in the East Coast, West Coast, South, things like that. But man, the amount of just insane fried things they have, I didn't go too overboard with the fried stuff. Ribbon fries are always a go-to for me. One of the highlighted new unique fair foods that was Ultimate Fat People Fair Food that I did have to try for scientific purposes it was a glazed donut cut in half, and then turned into a grilled cheese that had cheese, cream cheese, bacon, and jalapenos inside it. And it was fantastic. The jalapenos kicked my ass, but the mix of the sweet and the spicy was chef's kiss. Fantastic. Other super fun Midwest fair foods I had. Lemon cookie balls, which were basically fried Oreos, but they were the fried lemon Oreos. Amazing. No notes. And then the ultimate Midwest fat person dish, it was tater tots with macaroni and cheese on top, which then had a layer of pulled pork on top of it, smoked pulled pork, and then onion straws, and then 2 different kinds of barbecue sauce. And it was one of the best things I have ever put in my mouth. I cannot recommend enough. And it's a dish you can make at home if you too want to eat all your week's worth of calories in one dish. You can do it as well. One thing I didn't mention about vacation, I got insanely sunburnt on Friday, and it has now been like a week and a half plus since that, and I still feel like I itch all over because I hate using lotion, and those things are supposed to help you not deal with the itchy thing of sunburn. So that's what I'm dealing with, and it's been a struggle, riding on the struggle bus with that. I feel like there were other things I wanted to talk about and touch on vacation, but because my mind is fried and work and stress and all the other stuff just zaps any kind of memory from my brain, apparently, I don't remember what any of those other things were. Did go to a brewery. It was a library that had been turned into a brewery, Second Chapter Brewery. Good branding, good naming. The beers are like all named accordingly. Lots of fun, good tasting there, and just good times all around. It was a good vacation. Nice to get away for a bit. I've got work trips coming up. I have a Husker football trip planned with my brothers and my dad, which will be a good time later on this fall. Husker football started out 2-0. We looked dominant against the team we were supposed to look dominant at, which I get. People say it's not a big deal, but if you are a Husker football fan and you have watched Husker football recently, usually the games we're supposed to look dominant at, we don't. We look bad. And this year we didn't, and it was amazing. And it was the first time I have had fun watching a Husker game in so long. It was such a good time. I didn't really feel stressed at all during it. It was beautiful. It was a nice, relaxing experience. And I hope I am experiencing that for the rest of the season. I doubt it, but maybe. Looking good so far. Let's do some musical talk before we get into the TV talk. If you're watching on YouTube, you may notice I'm wearing my Westerberg High School Rottweilers t-shirt, nod to Heathers. Heathers the musical, one of my favorite musicals out there. It had a good West End run. It came to the U.S. in New York, just off Broadway, has experienced a run there. And it was just announced recently that it will be going on a UK and Australia tour in 2026, followed up by a U.S. tour in 2027. So I am just over here hoping and praying that it comes somewhere near me on the 2027 U.S. tour, because I would absolutely love the opportunity to see Heathers the musical live, especially since the West End Pro Shot has been pulled off Roku and is nowhere to be found. Freeze Your Brain, Meant to Be Yours, just absolutely amazing songs. 17, so good. Our Love Is God. I love Heathers the musical. So good. Almost no skips on that for me. The one I don't love Kindergarten Boyfriend. I get what it's trying to portray, but not necessarily for me. So I'm very excited about a Heathers US tour. Hope I get the chance to see it. It's a couple years away still, so the anticipation will be killing me. But I really enjoyed Frozen, talked about that on the pod. I saw that. Next up is Tina, the Tina Turner musical. It's kicking off its new U.S. national tour in Lincoln next month, so I will be reviewing that, be seeing the first performance of the new tour, so I'm excited for that one. And then also kind of in the musical realm, I did a lot of driving with vacation and things like that. And so listening to some of my musical favorite playlists and other just playlists in general. And a song that kept coming up is Answer 36 from 36 Questions. So it's a musical podcast is the premise of it. It's all the songs and the story is told through like voice note recordings, and it was released as a podcast. 36 question, answer 36 is towards the end of it, because the premise is a woman caught lying, trying to have a conversation with, believe husband, not just boyfriend. It's been a while since I listened to the whole thing, and wants to go through the 36 questions that determine if you are compatible and in love with someone. And they go through that. And Answer 36 is just a heartbreaking song. There's so much emotion in it. It is beautiful. I love it. And so I got thinking about what are some of the most like heartbreaking songs in musicals. And I think that's like the vibe I've been into lately, like Answer 36, Dear Bill, even like My House from Matilda, things like that. And so I might do an episode on that. I've done a little bit of that when I did top however many songs that hit you in the feels. So I do tend to gravitate towards a lot of the more unrequited love, like heartbreak, just those realizations that can turn into anthems. Like She Used to Be Mine is one that's full of like heartbreak, yet realization and empowerment as well for, I'm blanking on her name within the show. I believe it's Jenna. I love Waitress, and that performance and that song is so powerful. Shout out. I really like Jeremy Jordan's performance of it, which I get may seem disrespectful, but I love Jeremy Jordan and everything he does. So don't hate me. That's just how it is. But Antonio Cipriano is another one that is very quickly becoming a favorite of mine. Just performer. His voice is amazing and powerful and beautiful and soulful. And just, I was first introduced to him from Michael Mott's In the Light concept album. And since then, just hearing him on the Jagged Little Pill, Broadway cast recording album as Phoenix, and then in In Pieces, Joey Contreras' kind of concept album he's building out, and then some other songs he's done with Joey Contreras, and is just absolutely beautiful. Most recently, he's in like a Christian coming of age series from like Angel Pictures, that like faith based thing. And if that's your thing, no fault to you. I will not be checking out the show. It's targeted, it's a teenager show. It's from the musical director of like High School Musical. So there's some like cheesy dance, corny numbers like that. But I saw it, came across my YouTube feed. It was called Amazing Grace, How Silent the Sound. And it is Antonio Cipriano's character in this. It seems like he's maybe someone who is like anti-Christian, fighting against it. I think the whole thing is going to be about him converting, becoming Christian. I don't know. But it's him just dealing with kind of like this loss of faith and feeling abandoned. And how he sings it is absolutely heartbreaking, and it is a beautiful song that made it to my playlist, even though that's not really what I gravitate towards or vibe with. But love Antonio Cipriano. I think he's someone that is going to be making his name on Broadway for a long time to come, and he's been getting a lot more acting roles as well. He's in a new like hockey series on Amazon, cast in that. He was in Disney Plus, did their National Treasure spinoff series. He was in that got canceled. But I want to see him in almost every musical project moving forward, because he is just so insanely talented. Like, there are so many young, fantastic talents that Broadway is going to be set for a long time. Like Jordan Fisher, Antonio Cipriano, all these people just insanely talented. I'll do a nice transition into TV, kind of musical tie-in a little bit, as weird as it's going to sound. I recently finished Dexter Resurrection, the Dexter continuation series about vigilante serial killer Dexter Morgan. Talked about briefly on here. The original ran, I think, 8 seasons. People hated the finale. Years went by. They decided to kind of bring him back and try to redeem the ending a little bit with Dexter New Blood. I felt like it was fine, good, not great, but I enjoyed it. They then did Dexter Original Sin with Patrick Gibson playing young Dexter, prequel series, and I really enjoyed that for what it was. I finished that not too long ago. And then they came out with Dexter Resurrection, a continuation from the ending of Dexter New Blood. So instead of just keeping it Dexter New Blood Season 2, they're kind of changing the title to match the name of it. And I kind of wonder if that's what they'll be doing if they do more moving forward. Although Dexter Resurrection has not officially been announced and greenlit for a season 2, even though there are rumors that they've pulled together kind of a writer's room for it to see where it'll go. Dexter Original Sin, the Patrick Gibson prequel, on the other hand, had been greenlit and was announced they were doing a season 2, and writers were pulled together for it. However, it has now been rumored and announced that it will not be moving forward after all. Some rumors and speculation are that could be because Patrick Gibson was tasked by, I think, Skydance Studios in PlayStation. He's playing James Bond in a video game series. And so people are kind of speculating that could be kind of a soft launch and he will be playing James Bond in Amazon's kind of reboot of the series. That's just rumors at this time. However, him playing James Bond would make perfect sense why there would be no Dexter Original Sin Season 2, because that would be a huge project, huge opportunity that will be taking up a huge chunk of his time. So rumors at that point. But Dexter Resurrection, want to talk a little bit about it, and why I think it is a good transition from musicals is because episode 8 of season 1 of Dexter Resurrection, the whole series takes place in New York. So a different setting from the Miami that Dexter original series took place in, and Canada, I believe, is where Dexter New Blood took place. But it takes place in New York. The title of episode 8 is The Kill Room, where it happens. And It has Hamilton references, plays a part in the episode. And so the play on words is great. Dexter Resurrection as a whole, I feel like was a step up from Dexter New Blood for me. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed where the story went, and we got to see Dexter being Dexter a little bit more. I'm still not completely sold on Harrison's character and the side plot there, but overall, it brought back some people from the original series. I won't go too much spoilers in it. Uma Thurman is great in it. You see some other great actors have smaller roles in this. Peter Dinklage is absolutely fantastic in it. At the beginning of the season, I wasn't quite sure, but in the last few episodes, the acting and the performance that he gives is amazing and top tier, and I absolutely loved it. Neil Patrick Harris just with an all-time bad wig in it, though, in my opinion. My biggest complaint about the series is it does not have the traditional Dexter like intro song and feel to it. And instead they have, after the opening, just like a quick like 10 to 15 second like snippet of different scenes that take place in the episode. And there's some other shows that do that as well. And I kind of hate that because then I'm just waiting for certain things to happen. I don't like that. I don't need it. I'm here. I'm watching the episode. I don't need things to get me hooked through the rest of it. So that's just my take. If you're a fan of the original Dexter series, Dexter Resurrection, well worth your time. I hope it gets renewed for a season 2. Michael C. Hall is just so good in this role and as this character. And I want to see what happens next and where they take this story. There's definitely how season 1 ended is definitely a setup for where the series could go moving forward. But I could also see them doing it another season with a different name. Like they did New Blood, then they did Resurrection. This one, based on how it ended, could have a different name and vibe to it as well. So on the kind of TV vein, a couple other things. I recently started Abbott Elementary. I'm very late to the party on this show, but it's kind of filling a void, a mix of like Parks and Rec and The Office. And I just have really enjoyed it. I think we've been binging it. I'm on season 3 now. So excited. What kind of got me into it is I started watching, I'd heard great things, and I watched the episode for the Always Sunny crossover because the new season of Always Sunny was coming, and I really enjoyed the characters, and I'm like, you know what? Let's dive into this. This will be the next binge watch, and I've been running through that and really enjoying it. Speaking of Always Sunny, this new season of Always Sunny, great, too short. I feel like Always Sunny, they keep pushing things, and I feel like they haven't really missed a step. Yeah, you're not going to have some of the high highs that you had in the early seasons, but they're just consistently good. Only 8 episodes is kind of rough, but the production value was great. Crossover with The Golden Bachelor is just hilarious and a great concept. All these people who are the superstars in their own right, all of them have like successful shows or other things that they've been doing. Great to see them still just coming together and just emptying the chamber with just over the top ridiculous stuff and not being afraid to put it all out there. So still love Always Sunny, still worth your time. Really enjoyed it. I don't have any other notes on that stuff to talk about. I guess one other TV thing, I started watching Alien Earth. I'd heard really good things about it. The sci-fi series from Noah Hawley on FX. I'm not completely sold on it yet. First episode started out decently strong, but there is a storyline that involves children who are sick, dying, paralyzed, things like that, getting their consciousness transferred into like synthetic adult older bodies than what they were, significantly older bodies. And that there's just something off-putting about it, of that these robots talking and acting like children. That's a little bit annoying. Shows you how I feel about children. But I don't know. I'm still gonna give it a shot. I think I'm through episode 3, and we'll see where it goes. The production value is insane. Timothy Oliphant is really good in it. A little bit of a different role for him, but I'm really enjoying it. The performances have been great. There's just something about it that's not connecting with me. Episode 1, the alien, the main one, the xenomorph seemed kind of menacing. I feel like that's dropped off a little bit with where we're at in the series right now. But again, I'm behind. That could just be me. So welcome to form your own opinions. We're going to keep it a mini episode right now. I don't have much else except where I'm not a talented musician at all, I will reveal this to you. And if one of you uses it, I want credit to it. But just randomly, I had the thought, I feel like Corporate Apology would be a fantastic band name. Corporate Apology. There's the band Something Corporate. This is different. Corporate Apology. I don't know. Something there. Alternative band name. I like it. So feel free to use that. Just give me credit. But thank you all for those of you who've listened, watched this far. I'm going to do something different on the YouTube one. The time lapse at the end is going to be another one from vacation. So you're getting bonuses there. To see the time lapse of the recording, you'll have to head over to TikTok. I've been putting them on there as well as little promos for the episode. So head over to our TikTok. Like, comment, share, subscribe the pod as always. Head over to our Instagram. Subscribe on YouTube. That's where I see the most like engagement and subscriber count, things like that I can track. It means a lot to me. Appreciate you all sticking it out, listening, enjoying, giving your feedback, hopefully enjoying anywhere. I know this was a weird random episode, but give us ideas, lists you want to see. Work has been insanely crazy for me, so I have not been able to do as much planning for this as I had hoped. So you could just be surprised with what you see on next week's episode. So send us ideas, send us some love. Love you all. Have a great fall. And don't forget to go down once more. Later. All right, so it's about 60 degrees outside, cloudy, overall just gross weather. But this could be the only opportunity I have down at the lake. Haven't been on the jet skis in years, so I said, fuck it, we're going out. So here we are, and this is just what everyone likes to see, cloudy jet skis by an amateur. So let's go.